What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy, G, the number one Cowboy fan, Hampton. Along with me is Football Junkie. Give it up.
What's happening now?
And here we are. Let me do this right because I got it set up wrong. Bam! Saturday sit down with G, number one Cowboy fan, and Football Junkie. Straight barbershop talk, no bush. Like, share, and subscribe at this moment. And we want to say thank you to all the subscribers and all the followers of the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Without you, we always say that this is absolutely impossible. So thank you. Yeah. Football Junkie's back in the house. Football Junkie, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How you been doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I hope you gave your mom my birthday wish. I actually gave her a shout out on our last video, the one that
Yeah,
I did the party. Yeah, I
yeah.
gave her a shout out, man. Because I know you guys were doing her birthday party. So how did that go? Was that? I'm sure
It
she was
turned out
surprised.
it turned out pretty good, man. She was surprised, elated. She happened to see some people she hadn't seen in a minute, and some more surprises along with that. So yeah, man, it went very well, man. We enjoyed our day with mom turning 70, man. That's a blessing
Ooh,
within itself, man.
give it up. Give it up. That's what's up, man. Come on now. She's seen some things, bro. She's seen
Oh
some
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Again,
She done
happy
seen a lot.
belated birthday to my cousin, Sherry. Here we are. Give it up one more time. All right. So hey man, so I know you know what's the latest right now. We got this title as Cowboys latest news update and rumors. So we're gonna get right on into the latest update. And I know everybody's aware of what the latest update is that we definitely have signed George Pickens to the Cowboys football team. So I've talked about it, and I know everybody hadn't heard from you, and I'm sure they want to hear from what Football Junkie has to say about George Pickens and how does this help the Cowboys and how does it hurt other defenses now that we got a true X receiver? So what are your thoughts on that, my man?
Man, I think that was an excellent acquisition, man. I think that's probably one of the best acquisitions the Cowboys probably have made in the last 30 years. I say pretty much the last free agent acquisition that was of greatness that the Cowboys have made was Deion Sanders. And other than that, I mean, you got a situation where you pairing up CD Lamb, that's a yak receiver, and you
Mhm.
pairing up a George Pickens with the CD Lamb. You got two, basically, you don't have a number two. You have two number one receivers out there on the yeah. You got two number one receivers out there on the perimeter, man, and both of them are lights out. You have one that's a a a, a ball hog extraordinaire with CD Lamb, and then you got another one that is also a ball hog extraordinaire. But the thing that's different between CD Lamb and Pickens, I think Pickens and I believe Pickens have more elevated range than CD Lamb when it comes to jumping.
Mm.
I think his catch radius is bigger than CD Lamb's, if I'm not mistaken, from what the things that I've seen concerning Pickens. Also, I view games past couple of seasons with Pickens. And then when you look at Pickens' stat line for the last three seasons, and specifically just when we just, if you wouldn't mind just blowing up last season, he had 900 yards of receiving with two different quarterbacks.
Two different quarterbacks. So true.
Two
Yeah.
different quarterbacks, 900 yards. And everybody know that watched football last season with the Pittsburgh Steelers with their quarterback carousel they had uh, with Fields and with what's his name came from Seattle. I can't think of his name right now. Um, but that
Russell.
right there,
Russell
Russell
Wilson.
Wilson, yes, that right there within itself, man, just being that he put up those type of numbers versus that type of situation, I think that's outstanding. And then him coming in and saying that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback that he's had since he's been in the NFL. I don't disagree with him at all about that. He is by far probably the best quarterback that he has had since he's been in the NFL. Because I'm not taking away with nothing from Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson's on the down slope of things and whatnot. And I still think that at this point of the juncture, buying the injuries of Dak Prescott, I still think Dak Prescott right now is uh, three or four clicks better than Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Uh, but when it comes to Pickett as a whole, this dude is an animal. He's an animal, and he's gonna bring that part of the culture that needs to be brought back to the Dallas Cowboys. Is that aggressive nature of mentality of playing football, attack, 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 attack. Um, we as a culture, as a football, as what we have seen with the Dallas Cowboys, and it has a lot to do with head coaching and stuff like that. Because when you think about Mike McCarthy did a lot of passive coaching, a very handful, great deal of passive coaching, and those players played according to the head coach. Uh, Buying in the defense when the defense basically played up to the expectations of the defensive coordinators. But when you look at the offensive side of things, we don't have a situation no more, I believe, where we'll begin to the red zone and kaput. When you think about having CD Lamb coupled up with a Pickens, uh, the focus is no longer just on CD Lamb. This is forcing a one-on-one situation on both sides of the field. It's the Cowboys are playing a stuff game, force game with everybody. Uh, when it comes to opposing defense, I mean, what you gonna have to do is pick your poison. You have to pick your poison,
Yeah.
and, and you got to pick it real carefully because I mean, you can line CD Lamb in the slot, and they can be both on the same side of the field.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say that one more time.
You can put CD Lamb in the slot, and they both on the same side of the field. And let's just think about it. Just think about how these two wide receivers play a profound effect on the running game. How they can stretch a defense because play action leads to the attraction of the running game. You know, uh, these two guys can stretch the field any kind of way that you want them to. With the tight ends that we have, our tight ends are able to stretch the field. And then you throw in Butler, you throw in Turpin, and then you throw in the possibility of this new guy that's coming in from Oregon, the undrafted free agent that has speed to burn as well. Uh, man, I mean, what can you really do with that? Man? I mean, you have to back up. It causes the linebackers to have to back up away from being in the box as well. So
Yeah.
that takes pressure off the offensive line a whole
Hey.
lot,
Yes, sir.
whole lot. So if the pressure's off the offensive line to have to run block like they have been doing the last few years, the pressure's off the offensive line. You backing up two linebackers, a strong safety, or a rover, a nickelback. You backing them up to the point where they had to play another 7 or 6 yards off the line of scrimmage, then that opens up the possibility of run lanes for the running backs. That decreased the difficulty of blocking for the offensive line. I
No,
mean,
that's
yeah,
that's so true, bro.
I mean, it's levels to this stuff. First level, second level, third level. How greatly can Pickens and CD Lamb affect the second and third level?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, and give it up for football junkie. Cause he ain't told nothing but the truth. Truth and the truth shall set you free. I'm just saying. So yeah, we've
Okay?
heard it, and you've heard it first right here on the Cowboy Huddle podcast, and this will create big problems, big problems to defense because, like you said, personally, they have to pick their poison. And if they decide to want to put 8 men on the box, oh yeah, we're going over top. And if you
Gonna take
want
the
to
top off.
drop, yeah, we're gonna take the top off. And if you decide to drop back, we just might just hand the ball off. So again, there's levels to this, just like you just said. But you know what, football junkie? Somebody must have gave Jerry Jones a free pass. Because I say that simply because this is a Jerry Jones move.
Yeah, this is Jerry Jones move.
This is a Jerry Jones move. Jerry Jones is one that make the big splashes. Now, we've seen it with Deion Sanders. We've seen it with Terrell Owens. We've seen it, we've seen this happen before. So somebody said, okay, Pops, okay, Jerry, who do you want to get? And again, you had to make the big splash. But I really think this is a great addition, man, to this Cowboy. And we've been talking about that we need a true X receiver.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
what this does with Ralph Lenoir and Mingo and all those guys, I have no idea. They just made it that much of more of a competition at the number 3 receiver.
yeah,
Okay, that's all that has done. But I like the way Brian Schottenheimer has this set up because there's a lot of competition that's going to be going on within this team at different positions. I
yeah.
mean, there's nothing locked at our left tackle right now. There's nothing locked at our right tackle. I don't know. Brooks come in. Brooks, I think Brooks, whatever. I think
Booker.
Booker. He. I'm sure he's going to come in and play, but I'm sure that Brock Hoffman is not just going to lay down either. So that's the thing. Then we talk about the running back room. There is a competition back there as well. But again, this has to be a Jerry Jones move. And I talk about that, man, to bring this next topic up. So, and this is something that you might can elaborate on. So, it's been reported by the blog and the boys. They said Brian Schottenheimer has a chance to do what Mike McCarthy failed to do in Cowboys debut. So, it's a lot to say right here. And basically, what he's saying is beat the Eagles. Beat the Eagles, knowing that we play the Eagles the first game. It says, let me just say a little bit. It ain't much. You would say. So it just says Schottenheimer has not backed down one bit in his remarks so far to the media when it comes to holding himself to a championship standard, having an unquestionable work ethic, and being successful as a first-time head coach because of these things. For this success to start on opening night, Schottenheimer would have to do something his predecessor, Mike McCarthy, never did. And something that is of heightened importance considering Schottenheimer, who is already directly replacing McCarthy's role as offensive play caller after being his offensive coordinator. So that's what they're saying. All all Brian Schottenheimer has to do is win. What do you think about that? And how? And is it possible? And if that's the case, how are we going to go about pulling this win off since we're talking about September 4th?
I mean, basically, it's best to try to collect all the eggs you can, being that you're in a rebuild situation. Uh, Nobody knows how the Cowboys is going to approach the situation now that we got a new general. We got a new field general taking charge of the situation over here in Dallas. So nobody knows how we're going to come at them and whatnot. And what better way is to start the season out against Philadelphia with all the surprises that you possibly can come out with? Because you're going to have to hit them and hit them hard and hit them quick. You don't want them to get going or anything like that. We know we already have to deal with the one trick pony and Saquon Barkley. True indeed. That's a problem for everybody. So I mean, he's what you consider a national disaster on the football landscape. However, all you have to do is basically just reduce your casualties in that situation. You might have to just take a card out of Kansas City's book from the Super Bowl. We shut down Saquon. We just leave the game up to the quarterback Hurst. However, uh, Cowboys, this is a game off the top where they can basically get momentum,
Yeah,
set the tone for the season. One, two, they can hit Philly in the mouth and put everybody on notice.
yeah, yeah. And I said this too, football junk. I said, if Brian Schottenheimer can pull this one off, he would definitely be the talk of the month
Right.
of starting the season because he knocked off he did something that Mike McCarthy couldn't do, and he knocked off a top contender like the Philadelphia Eagles, the returning champions. Okay, so with that being said, this is a good, and we're talking about it because the schedule's been out. The schedule has been placed out there, and we know that now we're going to play the Eagles on the first game. But this is what I said also, football junkie. I said one thing about that works in our favor is there's no tape on Brian Schottenheimer.
No thanks.
There's
No
there's no
thanks.
film on Brian Schottenheimer on what this offense is going to look like. So
Right.
people can say what they want to say. Oh, well, we done beat the Cowboys twice, but I beg to differ because one thing that can work in our favors is the unknown. the uncertainty,
Yeah,
what the offense will
yeah.
look like. I mean, can you agree to that?
I can totally agree with that. And this is another thing about this offense. I know without a shadow of doubt in my mind, Blue is going to have an effective role in this offense, a very effective role in this offense because this guy, he's not only a good runner with the ball, he's a damn good catcher.
Yeah,
You basically have a running back that's slash a receiver in the backfield.
yeah, and that's so true. And again, when we talk about what's his name? Well, we're talking about the offensive coordinator, mm, Adams. I think it's Corey Adams. And I'm thinking of the offensive line coach, but y'all know who I'm talking about. It slips my
Yeah,
mind right now. But
I think that's the guy that came from Arizona, right?
no,
Uh,
yeah. Well, the offensive coordinator did. The offensive line coach come from Kansas State.
Kansas State. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, you put these two offensive mind coaches together, man. You're gonna create something great, with the blocking scheme and the play calling. So, and we already know by them drafting Tyler in the first round like they did, and what he's gonna bring. They want to run the ball. They want to
okay.
run the ball. So now you get a what do you call it? Complementary football. You got the
Yeah,
the passing game complementing the running game. The running game complementing the passing game. So
right.
this can definitely, like I say, with Jaden Blue, and I'm gonna say Phil Maffa.
Ma, yeah,
Dude, I just and then we got what's his name? Javante Williams.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's looking decent. It's looking decent again. So we don't know what this offense is gonna look like, when we on opening night. So it's gonna be something to see. But yeah,
I want. Can I bring something to the table concerning Marfa?
uh,
Now. Remember now. We remember our fullback now. Remember our fullback,
Honolulu.
Hunter Lukey. Now, can you imagine Hunter Lukey lead blocking for Marfa?
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Can you imagine Hunter Lukey lead blocking for Marfa? That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's pressure there, brother.
That's
Again,
short yardage out this world.
oh my gosh, that is. So they're going, and if they decide to do that to keep a true fullback, I can see him being used in that fashion. Now, again, we've seen Brian Schottenheimer watch how Kellen Moore coach. We watched Schottenheimer sit behind Mike McCarthy to see how he coach. So I'm thinking now he's taken all this experience that he have witnessed between these two coaches and saw the good and the bad. So now
Hmm.
he's got an opportunity to create something to work to the strength of what he's seen over the past few years and put something great together to make this offense great. Okay. So it's a possibility that he could find himself in that position. But again, in order, he can do something that Mike McCarthy hasn't done, and that's to be a top contender, like the returning champions, Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure that's something he's definitely going to be looking at. I noticed now, football junkie. I see a lot of social media. These guys, they're on social media. I guess they're talking about how they like his vibe,
Hmm.
Schottenheimer's vibe and everything. But one thing I can say about Schottenheimer, he's going to make this competitive for everybody that's playing on that field. It's going to be competitive, in which that leads me into this next topic. And this is brought to us by the Cowboys Wire. It said, how long will Cowboys wait on their $82 million investment to pay off? And that $82 million investment is Terrence Steele. Now, they're saying his recovery from offseason knee surgery was a slow burn, with Steele struggling to regain his pre-injury form. 2024 was to be a full year removed, making a bounce back campaign a fairly logical plan. In some ways, Steele achieved those in 2024 expectation of the qualifying offensive tackle. with at least 900 offensive snaps last season. Still ranked in the top 10 in run blocking grades. With a 79% run block win rate, he ranked ninth in the NFL overall. So, how long do we have to wait
This
about John?
this is the thing right here with Steele, man. You got to factor in his age.
Hmm, yeah.
We got to factor in his age in this situation. Uh,
How old is Steele now? What is he in his early 30s or moving
I
to
would
his
say
30s?
I think he's probably in his early 30s. I'm not 100% for sure, but I think he's in his early, close to mid 30s. Uh,
Mm,
age play a big factor in this situation.
hmm.
Um, how he bounced back off this injury is determined on how hard he's willing to work on this situation to be back healthy. But we have to also look in the format of how long he's been playing this game of football. Uh, how long he's been able to keep himself healthy up until this point. Um, because everybody recovered different. Um,
Yeah.
when it comes to somebody that's that big and whatnot, they really got to work even harder than somebody that's a receiver or running back, defensive back. Those defensive linemen and offensive linemen, they really have to work even harder to get themselves back into playing format so that
Hmm.
they be able to just have the confidence to just overcome the mental block
Yeah.
that they have already come to have with this injury. Can I perform like I once performed? Can I do what I once? Can I move lateral? Can I
Yeah.
it's just so much to play in this scenario. But
Yeah.
do I think the Cowboys gonna get a return on investment? Hell no. You need to go ahead and recoup that situation just as best as possible, savage it. Because you already got this young blood you done moved in here already, and then you think about these undrafted free agents because you can get an undrafted free agent that can go balls to the wall on you. So I mean, do I think the Cowboys get the return on investment? No. I restructure his
Mm.
contract.
Mm. Well, come to find out, he's only 27 years of age, man, and
Okay, 27. Okay,
yeah, he's from Texas Tech, Rackham Tech. Give it up! I gotta give it up for
okay,
and he weighs 310 pounds now, and his height is he stands at 6'6". So, but again, I put some blame on Terrence, but at the same time, I put a lot of blame on our outdated offense with Mike McCarthy as a uh, coach of the past. Then we have to look at Mike Solari, which I thought I was going to be a big fan of Mike Solari, which was an offensive line coach, which is a coach of the past. So I think, man, a lot of that had to do with the way we played was the scheme that Mike McCarthy had put in place. And it just was irrelevant and it was outdated. I mean, I just think
yeah,
the game had
primitive
passed.
football.
Yeah, the game has passed Mike McCarthy and Mike Solari and all these older guys up. It has passed them up. They're doing new things now, man. And I think the blame will have to go both ways. The blame would have to
Yeah,
go towards, a little bit towards Terrence Steele, and this play calling was terrible as well. So,
right.
and then a lot of times we found ourselves behind the eight ball to where we couldn't run the ball because we find ourselves behind the change half the time, second and 13, third and 14, then, it puts us in bad situations. So I think the blame goes both ways. I mean, I guess we
Yeah,
can fairly say that, but again, yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and this is another Jerry Jones move. Jerry just throw money. Jerry throw
yeah.
money at people, man.
He
He
throw
just
money.
I don't care. You just get here, take this money, and
Heck
I
yeah,
don't knock anybody that want get paid, but Terrence
throw
Steele,
me a
yeah.
dog bone.
So you're saying that we might not see the return in the investment. Wait a minute.
I mean, cause look how he was playing previously. Like you said, it's a twofold situation. But I mean, up until what productivity have we gotten out of Terrence Steele?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we haven't got any. We haven't. I mean, you haven't even got a return on the 20% of the daggum investment on this guy. But
Mm.
I mean, I go back to what we was briefly talking about concerning the new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, and being that the offensive line coach is coming from Kansas State. Kansas State, as we know, Big 12 power, and in fact, in the Big 12 conference, how
Yeah,
Kansas State liked to run the ball,
yeah,
and they was very effective at running the ball throughout the years. And that's the type of life you have to bring
yeah,
into the change. You got to show the players that hey, we believe in what we believe in, and we're gonna back it up and show y'all that we're gonna bring in the personnel to be able to put y'all in the best position, to be able to excel at y'all position, so that we can get the best performance and ultimate performance out of y'all each week, and let y'all know y'all assignments day after day and week after week. But I mean, once we get our few snapshots, those 3 weeks of preseason and whatnot.
yeah,
Once we get our few snapshots, then we'll be able to have a glimmer of an ideal of what we're supposed to do offensively. Um, Pretty much, our defensive unit is coming back almost all intact. We got a lot of new faces.
yeah. That's so true. And I'm gonna say this here before we get up out of here, man. Um, these preseason games, I'm taking 5 plays and I'm flipping them and turning to 10. That's it for the
Mhm.
preseason. I'm not showing any more than I need to show come that first game in regular season. So give
Right.
me 5 plays, guys. Y'all gonna learn these 5 plays. I don't care how we do it in preseason, but we're gonna execute these 5 plays. And once we execute the 5, we're gonna flip them. That's gonna give us 10 plays. And we're gonna run those 10 plays
Yeah.
in preseason.
Heck yeah. You don't want to give them too much tape to study.
No, 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 don't give them no tape. I don't care what if we go 0-3, that's fine. We just want to make sure that everybody's executing, knowing their assignments, and learning how to play together. That's going to be. I think that's going to be major. And not only that, we talk about this offensive side of the ball, but the same thing goes for the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So we still got some holes to fill on that defensive side as well. We got to figure out our cornerback situation. I mean, we need some help with Deron Bland. Who's going to be that guy? Who's
Yeah.
going to step up and be the guy that's going to play opposite of Deron Bland? You got to look at the linebacker position, the defensive tackle position. So,
Yeah.
and
It's a
that's
lot
Matt.
going on.
Yeah, and that's Matt Eberflus, and we know he plays a 4-3 defense. But are you pretty familiar with Matt Eberflus?
To a degree, I'm pretty familiar with Matt Eberflus. Not really, but that 4-3 defense, it has a array of ways you can work it, and you can kind of shift the 4-3 to a 52. You can kind of shift the 4-3 into a 3-4 defense. It's just all about how you want to work it, and that's how I'm kind of looking at it in a way that they're more going. It's going to be a 3-4, but I think it's going to be more. I mean, I'm a 4-3, but I think it's going to be more of a 3-4 because of the guy we brought in from Boston College, because he's a stand up guy.
Yeah,
You don't have to necessarily he don't have to put his fingers in the ground. He
yeah,
comes standing up and get at you.
yeah,
And he has a similarity in athletic build of Michael Parsons. So both of
yeah.
these guys are both stand up guys. So I mean, really, really, truly telling you, if we don't have a possibly a 4-3 concept, but it's gonna be a lot of looks that's gonna be looking like 3-4, the 3-4 instead of the 4-3.
And disguising is one way to win a game. If you can disguise your defense and have the talent or the player personnel to be able to mix that up every so often, man, that sets you up for success, man. So yeah, and that's something we'll have to talk about on next week. We'll focus a little bit more on that defense next week, man, and see where we are because like I said, we got some things going on this offensive side of the ball. Man, we got to kind of start focus on Matt Everflus and see what he got going on his side of the ball. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's gonna be another. We're gonna do that on the next tape. But football junkie, I always appreciate you coming through, man, and sharing your knowledge with us and the folks out there
heck
that's
yeah,
watching, man. And again, this is just what we do. We're fans first. And we're unapologetic what we say, and it's straight barbershop talk. Give
straight
it up.
barbershop. Yes, sir.
So, with that being said, man, you got any last words before we get out of here, brother?
Hey, let's just stay on pause and don't be surprised
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Like I told you the other day, the four leaf clover is over the city of Dallas right now.
Shee, give it up. So true, man. And like I said, I'm thinking I might just go ahead and head back out to Oxnard this year. Last year, boy, a lot of folks didn't show up. A lot of people disappointed, but I think I got a reason to go back to Oxnard. So I might start making arrangements, man. But just to see, well, let's look at this company. I know people don't call it a competition, but let's look at this battle at this quarterback with Joe Milton behind, Dak
Yeah,
Prescott.
yeah.
Then we got these other receivers. I want to see what Phil Maffa looks like on the field versus Javante Williams and little Jaden Blue. See what that looks like, man. So yeah, it's something to see and go out there and see how Brian conducts his practice. So something I
I
might
think
look into, football junkie.
I think the practice is gonna get kind of out of hand, man.
What do you mean?
All this competition they got going on, it's gonna get kind of out of hand.
Oh, so it's gonna be a little heated.
It's gonna be heated. Players, play, players playing for positions, dog. They playing for
And boy,
position and they playing for staying power. Cause just think about it. All
yeah,
these people that they brought in for free agency and stuff like that, man. 1 year deal, 1 year deal, 1 year deal, 1 year deal. They ain't got no homes, dog.
now they have no home.
They ain't got no homes. These guys are playing off their dreams and aspirations and stuff like that. So they trying to find a home because this might be my last stop.
Hey, and them the ones that's what you want to see now versus those that got them full deals and
Okay,
6 year
it's supposed to be out of
contracts.
hand, man. It's gonna be out of hand. It's supposed to be slightly out of control. These dudes supposed to be at each other's neck.
Mm. Well, I tell you one that's basically going to be trying to fight for a position in a crowded area already, and that's that receiver position. And
Yeah.
let's not forget about undrafted free agent wide receiver Trayshawn Holden. Give it up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Trayshawn, he already said, man, I'm coming out here to make this team. And we
Okay.
know that he is a burner, man. So yeah, that's somebody else we can talk about. Trayshawn Burner. I mean Holden. So shoot, what you think?
Man, look, this dude, man, he takes the tops off of folks' head too in college. He was scapping people, man, literally scapping folks, and he didn't
Yeah,
have no room for no playing. And when he was getting that ball in his hands, man, the dude is out of
yeah,
line. I mean, you just a snap, just a tidbit snapshot you got. Well, let's go. We're gonna go in a five receiver set, and this is for to blow your mind. What I'm supposed to throw at you right here. You
okay.
got Pickens, you got CD, you got Turpin, and possibly Bolden, and then the fifth one, you got a running back coming out the backfield that can get at you like a wide receiver, like Blue. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's so true, bro. That is
I
so
mean, that's a hell of an attack right there, man.
man. Look at her. So yeah, shoot, I got it. I mean that there's so many pieces you can put together, man. And again, that's what's going to make it so tough on Philadelphia or whoever until they can figure out what in the crap are they doing. How are we going to play this? Well, no one knows because they're mixing it up from game one to damn near game 16, 17. It's going to always be different. So again, it's going to be something to see, man. But yeah, so that's where we are, man. Like you said, it could be a heated training camp, man.
It's gonna
It
be
could be a
heated,
heated.
man. It's gonna
Yeah,
be heated, heavily heated. Just
yeah,
wait till they really the heat gonna boil over when they play when they had that scrimmage against the Raiders and stuff like that. That's when it's
yeah,
gonna really blow.
yeah, yeah.
It's gonna really blow right there.
Well, hey man, time will tell, man. And like I say, I think you and I we're gonna be on that front row watching and ready to report whatever goes down, man. But again, man, I'm excited. So I'm ready to see what they got to bring to the table and what this offense and defense gonna look like. So
Man, I'm staying pat, dog. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm staying pat because around week five, week six, the real Cowboys gonna stand up. And that's what
yeah,
we're gonna have for the
yeah,
rest of the season.
yeah.
And
We
week
need to
five, week six, real Cowboys gonna stand up, and that's what we're gonna have for the rest of the season.
yeah, that's right.
Buying the injuries and everything else.
Yeah,
Yep. I mean, they really big gonna have to just to get the wind up under their sails, and then
yeah,
what I'm saying, and to ride the wave. They're gonna have to punch folks. They're gonna have to take them first three games. and be stingy and grab them, man. They got to grab them games out the shoot, being they coming out like they is, and they coming out
Mhm.
because they're creating whole new units, offensive
Yeah,
unit on the offensive line, a new defensive unit on the defensive line. They got to take advantage of the first three games off the top.
yeah,
They
yeah,
got
for
to.
sure, for sure. And
I
that
wouldn't I
go
wouldn't be
ahead.
mad if they go 2-1 or 1-2. You got to do. And it just depends on how competitive they are with
Yeah,
that 1 and 2
games are.
start.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's going to be interesting. The football
yeah.
season is going to. This is probably one of the most interesting coming football seasons in a minute.
Well, you know what? And that's so true. But if I'm Brian Schottenheimer, we're gonna practice. We ain't gonna do all this tic tac. We're gonna practice. And I know we can't tackle, but you're gonna rough. We're gonna be tough. You know,
Man,
we can't practice to not get hurt. We got to pray. That's when you get hurt. And that's
bro,
one thing Mike McCarthy did. He practiced not, it was called what do you call it? What do you call it? GPS. It was not to navigate. They practiced to where we practiced not to get hurt. That was what it was called, GPS. We're on GPS mode to where we just practice not. But dude, that what causes injuries when you try to practice not to get hurt. Listen, you got to get out there and play.
you got to get out
So
there and play, man.
Brian
I
has
take
to
some
come.
fines, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was Jerry Jones, I had my pocketbook ready for some fines.
Yeah, and that's just where it's going to be. But we got to practice. We got to go. We got to go 100% majority of the time. We got to know how to shut it down, but we got to go 100%. We can't. This is what causes soft tissue injuries. All this
Yeah,
going half speed. You got to get out there and run. You got to get out there and run so your muscle get acclimated to running at those speeds.
yeah.
So anyway, man, we go about on about this all day, man. But yeah, I think you and I both we're excited to see what goes on, man, and we're gonna sit back and whatever we come up, we're gonna report this to you on Saturdays like we always do. Again, thank y'all for sitting down with G, the number one Cowboy fan, Hampton, and football junkie. So
All
with
right
that
now.
said, like I always say, continue to stay safe and continue to be blessed.